In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get better at being on video. What is up, everybody? Dan Henry here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking how to get better at video. Joining me is our video guy, Christian, and my executive assistant, Alice. How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Alice? Okay, great. So we're going to talk about how to be better on video. So I recently did an ad, and you may have seen it. It's for our software Lead Owl, where I took this little Slack dog, the software Slack. I'm a power user, so they actually sent me this little Slack dog. And it was funny because it comes with all these instructions on all these different things you could build. So I just hand it to Alice. I'm like, build me the dog. And so she builds this little dog. So I'm like, this would be a cool ad idea. So I do this ad for Lead Owl. And I've got the dog, and we just cut in some just random funny stuff. And I'm holding the dog up, and I'm going, "Hi, this is Dan Henry, and this is my Slack dog." And I'm going, "Oof, oof, oof," and just doing silly stuff, right? And so that ad so far actually is crushing it. We've gotten hundreds of leads for our software for like $1.20 a piece.
Wow.
Which is really good. Okay. Very, very, very good. Especially with the supposed rising costs of Facebook. Psst. Facebook costs only rise if you're not good at Facebook ads. Anyway, so what's the point of this, right? So bottom line is, when you're advertising, if you can entertain people, if you can be good on camera, your marketing is going to go a lot further, because the natural human instinct is to be entertained. We spend billions of dollars in the movie industry in Hollywood, right? These films have, what was the Avengers? They had like $1 billion budget or some crap like that. I mean, just like
something huge, very close like that.
Something like $900 million budget, just huge. And if we would not spend that much money on film and video and movies and whatnot if we weren't entertained by it. Entertainment sells, okay? So you have to be good on video if you want to get the most out of your marketing videos and stuff like that. But I get it. Some of you suck on video. Christian, how are you on video? Are you good?
I'm actually pretty good. I've gotten better. I thought I was going to suck when I started doing it. But I think if you can realize that you have to put on this different persona and kind of liven up once that camera is on, then you'll be fine,
Yes, but how do you do that, right? That's the question. Because really, being good on camera is simply amplifying your existing personality. Alice, are you good? You're good on camera. I know you did some spokesmodel type stuff.
Okay.
So
all the stuff I did was boring.
Yeah, well, all right. Okay, good. So how do we get better? All right, so that's what I'm going to cover in this video. Now, here's the thing. If you're doing marketing videos for your brand, for whatever it is you're selling, and you're boring, and nobody wants to watch you, and nobody cares, and you can't keep their attention, guess what happens? You don't make as much money as you could, and your brand doesn't grow. And that sucks, because you put your heart and soul into your product and what you're selling. Why not put it into how you are on video, right? So how do we do that? How do we amplify? So they say that the camera adds 10 pounds, right? So here's the thing. With how you are on video, it's funny. It's almost in reverse. If you are hypey on camera, the camera actually decreases your hype by 10 pounds. So like, if you're like, oh, I'm being ridiculous on camera, and then you watch it back, it seems a lot more tame than the moment you were doing it. That always happens. So you have to go above and beyond. So let me tell you how I was able to overcome it and get a lot better on camera. All right. So have you ever watched any Adam Sandler movies or Jim Carrey movies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the movie The Mask?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. The Mask.
That's my
Okay.
favorite.
Where he says, "Somebody stop me."
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember I was listening to this comedian or whatever, and I can't remember who it was, but he was saying that what got him better at telling jokes on stage and got him more comfortable, because he had terrible stage fright, was he would go and he would mimic. He wouldn't steal jokes or anything, but he would go and he would mimic these outrageous comics, even though his shtick was not outrageous, but he was just way too reserved. He'd go try to like mimic them and do impressions, and that just got him out of his comfort zone and trained his brain and his I don't know, his face, whatever, his face muscles just trained him to be better on stage. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I wonder if I could do that, because I was terrible on camera. If you ever look up some of my old videos, I'm like, hey, this is Dan Henry. Sign up for my, I was terrible.
I have to do that. I have to go look that up.
You have to go look that up, of course. When I had the e-cigarette blog, that was bad. I was terrible. So I started mimicking over-the-top comedians, right? Like Jim Carrey. So I'll give you an example. Remember the line, "Somebody stop me." You remember that, right?
Yes.
All right. I want you guys to do this exercise with me. We'll start with you, Christian. I want you to mimic the "Somebody stop me" line.
All right.
Go ahead.
Somebody stop me.
Okay, that's good. All right, Alice.
Oh gosh. Somebody stop me.
Okay, not bad, right? Now, when I first did it, I was like this. I was like, "Somebody stop me," and it was terrible.
Please, somebody stop me.
Yeah, and I would do it in front of my friends, and I'd get this look on their face like, "Oh my God, this is just an awkward moment," So eventually I got to the point, and it doesn't have to be good. That's the thing. It just has to have the effort. So I went, "Somebody stop me." Okay? Now, that's not going to win any awards, but you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I'm able to put myself out there and be that crazy about it when I go to just say, "Hey, this is Dan Henry, and I'd like to tell you about my new cheat sheet. All you have to do is enter your name, email, and phone number and blood type, and I'll send it right over," right? I'm now able to do that and have it sound good, whereas before I was like, "Hey, this is Dan Henry. Enter your name, email, and first name of your firstborn, and I'll send it over," right? And it was just boring. But because I'm able, even if I don't do it good, that's the thing, you don't have to be good at it. You just have to be able to do it to where your friends go from, "This is weird," to, "That was good," or, like, "Is somebody going to get this guy some Ritalin?" Like, whatever it is, like, either of those will do. And if they say calm down, like, that's fine too, right? As long as you get used to being over the top. If you can be over the top, then you can easily deliver a marketing line like, "Hey, book a call with my team, sign up for my webinar, download my cheat sheet," whatever it is. But if you are so reserved that you can't do that, you need to practice, just like anything else. Just like you want to get bigger muscles, you gotta lift some weights, right? If you want to be more flexible, what do?
Yoga.
Yoga. She's a yoga addict. She's. I swear, she owns like 5,000 pairs of yoga pants.
Working on it.
So working on it. So you got to stretch, right, or do yoga. If you want to be better on camera and if you want to break it down, the things that make you good on camera are your facial expressions, how animated you are, inflection, rhythm of your voice. Like, there's a huge difference between sign up for my free webinar and sign up for my free webinar. There's a difference. There's also cadence, right? Like how you end a sentence and make it seem like that is the final most important point. Like if you say, sign up for my free webinar and I'll see you there, it's almost like something's going to come after it. Like, sign up for my free webinar and I'll see you there. Like, see, it sounds like I'm going to say something after that, right? But if I say, sign up for my free webinar and I'll see you there. See?
It's more definitive.
It's more definitive, right?
Yeah.
And in music, that's called a perfect authentic cadence. So when you end it, you know that, right, Christian? When you end a note and it's like, like that's a perfect authentic cadence in music theory.
Yeah, you're finalizing it.
Yeah, you're finally, yeah. That's what people who didn't take music theory call it. Yes, you're finalizing it. Anyway, so you have to make it seem final, right? You got to make it seem like it's definitive. And in the brain, the person processes what they just heard a lot better because something in their brain went, oh, that was the end. I better pay attention. Little things like this. And you get this by mimicking people who are the best in the world at it, like Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. You don't have to like these comedians or these people, or you could even do impressions of who's somebody to do good impressions of? Robert De Niro, right? Or Scarface. I'm a terrible person for Al Pacino, right? Like, yo cockroach, right? If I can put myself out there enough to look you in the eye as another human being, and go, yo cockroach, without feeling super awkward, Then guess what? Guess what happens when I just need to say, hey, sign up for my webinar? That becomes easy because I was able to go, like, seriously, you ever see, I saw this a lot in New York and a lot in Chicago when I used to live in Chicago. I'd see these people in the subway and on the street rapping, right? Like rapping out. And you just, like, that's so awkward. And I always thought, why are they doing that? And then a buddy of mine who's a rapper, he said that, well, the reason he does it is because if he can go out in public, walk down the street and commit the super awkward act of rapping in front of strangers, then when he gets on stage, it's like he's got out, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got the fear bugs out and he's now able to perform on stage. So I was like, wow, I just thought they were weird, but that seems like a pretty, actually reasonable thing. And I did the same thing with the impressions, and that's what got me better on camera. So, you know what I mean? So that I think is so super important to do, you know? So on Monday morning, you think you guys should come in here with some impressions.
Oh.
See how you do. Do you guys do any impressions?
No.
No, no. I can probably do like what is it, Terrence from South Park or something like that?
Terrence?
Terrence and Phillip.
Oh, Terrence and Phillip. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not your guy, buddy. You're not my guy, but you're not my buddy guy. Yeah, yeah.
Your friend, pal.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I'm not your friend.
Not your
pal.
friend. Not your friend, pal.
That was
Yeah,
like
you're
a
really
Canadian that spent 10 years in Alabama. like, I'm not your friend, pal.
See, I could probably do like a southern type of thing, but
I think you could
Accents.
do a good Sarah Silverman impression.
is that the girl with the dark black hair?
She's
Yes.
the comedian. I think she used to date Jimmy Kimmel, and she has that like super awkward style of comedy where she like drags every sentence out, and she's like, yeah, like that. You know what I mean? She makes the joke. She's like, I just killed 20 people, like that. She does like stuff like that. Yeah, you could probably do a good one of those. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to research a little bit.
She's like, I'm just gonna go home and not do that. Just hope he,
Not to
yeah,
do
like
this.
hope he forgets this by Monday. Anyway, so for those of you at home watching, all you really have to do is go find a comedian or somebody that you like their characteristics, you like how they act, and it should be somebody over the top, because if you can mimic somebody over the top, then when it comes time for you to be good on camera, it takes much less than to be the mask and be like, you know, somebody stop me, and just being all crazy and stuff, you know. But it's kind of like overtraining, you know, like you train so hard that when it's time to perform, you don't have to go as far as you were going, and so it becomes easy. So that is my suggestion for today on how to get better on video. Listen to me. Come closer to the screen. If you like these videos, you're going to want to subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, then there's going to be just a complete genocide of butterflies that happens.
Ooh.
And yeah, I heard about this last week. Somebody said, it was from the National Geological Association, said, you're not going to believe this. We found that butterflies are dying in mass because you're not subscribing to the Dan Henry Show. That's
save
what
the
happened. I couldn't believe it
That's a
either.
tragedy.
I was like, how does this connect to me? And they said, don't worry about how. It just is the way it is. So you have to get as many subscribers as possible. Okay? Don't worry about how.
Guys, save the butterflies. Subscribe.
It's science stuff. It's
Save.
science stuff. Okay? All right. See you guys later. And don't forget, save the butterflies. Subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube video. If you go ahead and click the subscribe button now, I promise I will release my Eminem diss track.